wealth talaga ang family. In fact, I even tell a lot of friends, I see my real legacy in my children. They are the ones who will be carrying forth the value and the life that I've tried to give them. And hopefully, patungan pa nila yun para mas maganda ang magiging values at buhay ng kanilang magiging anak. And that's how I see things. But real happiness and abundance gets multiplied when I share it with family. So, this is a major factor. At ito po, ang hatid nito, syempre, higher. Hello mga ka-RFF. I hope you're having a great time. This is again Rex Mendoza from Rampver Financials. Today, I'm going to be talking about the 8 forms of wealth. This is the core of a new book by Robin Sharma. But before we get down to that book, let me give you a premise why I found this to be a good and interesting topic. If you remember, I just did a video on greed. Diba, pinag-usapan po natin na in all our quest for abundance, alam nyo, yung greed, medyo pabigat yan. Pwede tayo maligaw ng landas at pag naligaw tayo ng landas, yung kayamanan hindi naghahatid ng kasiyahan. Yung kayamanan pushes us to a point of disappointment, dissatisfaction, discontent, and masisira po ang buhay natin. So kailangan po in the quest for abundance, in the quest for prosperity, dapat po tama ang ating values. And that's the reason why I did come up with that discussion on greed. Today, however, gusto ko parang, in a way, para palang sequel ito because when I chanced upon this book by Robin Sharma, na-realize ko, pag ito pala ang pamamaraan mo, and you actually define wealth in many ways, not just material things and money, magbabago rin ang pananaw mo at malalayo ka dun sa pagkaganid or greed. And how is that for a strategy? Di ba po, napakaganda nun. So, unang-una ko kagad recourse is to be able to share this with you. Again, ibabalik ko po yung idea, di ba? Yung abundance that matters is when your wealth impacts the lives of others positively and beautifully. Kung matatandaan nyo, several videos ago, I also mentioned this. It takes such a little effort to make other people happy. If your presence in this world gets other people to be better, if the way you touch the lives of others gets them to be fulfilled and have meaning in their own lives, you will definitely be happier. So ito po yung konseptong yon. At dito nga pala sa sinasabi ni Robin Sharmang 8 forms of wealth, magkakaroon ka ng ibang pananaw at hindi mapupunta yung focus mo sa mga malimbagay. So, in that book, Robin Sharma came up with what we call his metrics of wealth. Parang ang sabi niya, ang kamalian ng mga tao is that we have been pushed, we have been duped, we have been misled to the idea na ang talagang batayan at measures of wealth ay fame, fortune, and applause. FFA, fame, fortune, and applause. Lahat daw ng mga mayayamang tao, ang kailangang beacon ay katanyagan, kayamanan, at paghanga ng ibang tao. Ito ba talaga ang tamang pamamaraan? Sabi niya dun sa kanyang librong Everyday Hero Manifesto. Di ba? Napakaganda po ng meaning, everyday hero. We can all be heroes in our own book. We can all be heroes in the way we live our lives in this world. And this manifesto is something that he is suggesting to everyone. So, baguhin daw po natin yung misconception na ang tunay na basihan at metrics of wealth ay fame, fortune, and applause. Di ba po dapat ang habulin daw natin yung JPF? JPF, hindi FFA. Ano yung JPF? Joy, peace, and freedom. We have to aspire for joy, peace, and freedom. So, pag naghahabol daw tayo ng joy, peace, and freedom, mag-iiba yung magiging pananaw natin sa tunay na meaning ng abundance. And that wealth will have a different perspective, a different set of angles. Not just one angle, not just one perspective, which is material. Yan ang nagiging measure ng ating society. Kung hindi, magkakaroon ng iba't ibang mga facets to make sure that we really live a meaningful and fruitful life. So, doon sa title pa lang ng libro ni Robin Sharma, matutuwa kayo kasi, it says, Everyday Hero Manifesto, activate your positivity, maximize your productivity, and serve the world. And if I'm going to be looking at those three things, activating positivity, maximizing productivity, and serving the world. Di ba, pag ginawa mo yan on a very consistent basis, talaga namang yayaman ka eh. You will always be abundant if you maximize on your productivity. Gagamitin mo yung oras at talento mo in order to create products, give out services, and become of value to other people. When you activate your positivity, you will attract the good in your life. You will attract the people, the events, and the opportunities that even make you better. Di ba nga, ang mga tao daw na nabubuhay with utmost positivity, optimal level of positivity, they really believe that the world is conspiring to make them a success. And lastly, it's all about serving our fellow man. It's about serving the world. At uulitin ko po, lagi ko itong sinasabi, your compensation will always be a direct function of the value of your service to others. Pag ang value mo at ng serbisyo mo sa iba ay laging mataas, hindi ka kailangan maghabol ng pera. Pera ang hahabol sa iyo. So, dapat daw pag ginawa mo ito at mag-iba ang pananaw mo, again, magiging landas mo, kakaiba din, and you will have the real fulfillment, contentment, and happiness that comes from meaningful wealth. So, ano sinasabi ni Robin Sharma na 8 forms of wealth? Number 1 is self-mastery. Alam niyo po, yung pagkakaalam, pag-discover ng ating sarili is very important. In fact, that might be one of the first and foremost objective of a person's life. It's really to discover oneself, our talents, our capabilities, creating means and ways to optimize on the person that we are, to get into the level at which we will also be using everything that's given to us by our Creator for the service and love of others. Self-mastery is understanding your true potential and working on that on a daily basis so that you get to optimize it. Not just for yourself, but for others. Ang fulfilled daw po na tao, alam na alam niya, kilalang kilala niya ang kanyang sarili, and that is real wealth. Yung alam mo that you can draw from your own basic personal value. It's very important. Number 2, family. Wealth talaga ang family. In fact, I even tell a lot of friends, I see my real legacy in my children. They are the ones who will be carrying forth the value and the life that I've tried to give them. And hopefully, patungan pa nila yun para mas maganda ang magiging values at buhay ng kanilang magiging anak. And that's how I see things. But real happiness and abundance gets multiplied when I share it with family. One of the ultimate forms of fulfillment is when I see happiness in my entire family. And this can be realized in a great spectrum of things. Number one, when we travel, when we experience great things, all of those stuff. Pero hindi dun lahat na i-experience yan eh. Alam nyo, in other times, it is when we are in our hardest moments, when we are having to encounter problems and difficulties, when we have each other's shoulder to cry on, when we get to share this ill feelings or anxieties, dyan mo nakikita yung real fulfillment mo in a family. So it's not just the happiness, it's also the handling of the problems. Alam nyo, in that full breadth and spectrum, you will see real value. Maraming beses natin narinig yan from our childhood. Any form of success can never compensate for failure in families. At nakakalungkot po kasi alam naman natin in today's society, parang hindi masyado ito nabibigyan ng importansya at maraming mga pamilya ang nagkakawatak-watak. Unfortunately, dahil pa sa mga material na bagay, dahil pa sa pagbabangayan on things that they can actually share. Di ba nakakalungkot po yun? I will tell you, sometimes, just fixing up something for my family, at times I fix drinks, sometimes I cook very simple dishes, create sandwiches. Siyempre po, mas magagaling sila sa akin, but they appreciate it because they know I'm a busy person, and when I do it with a labor of love. Alam nyo, pag nakikita ko silang kumakain, ewan ko kung pinipake lang nilang nasasarapan sila, pero pag nakikita ko silang satisfied at maraming kudos, maraming pagpuri, napakasarap po ng pakiramdam. That is going to be priceless. Laughter, happiness, shared with the special people in your life would be the most valuable form of wealth that you can ever experience. Number 3 is health. Alam naman natin yan. Health is wealth. Pero alam nyo, may bagay na sinabi si Robin Sharma na talagang eye-opening, mind-boggling. Tandaan nyo po ito, napakatindi nitong linyang ito. Health is the crown on a well person's head that only an ill person can see. Health is the crown on a well person's head that only an ill person can see. Nabibigyan daw po natin ng importansya ang health pag huli na ang lahat. We trade off a lot of things for health, but all of those things, as you gain them through life, will not be enough to get back the health that you lost. Ang dami ko pong naging kakilala. They accumulated a lot in their lifetimes. They are business people, they're corporate executives. But at the tail end of it, they quit everything, get all their money to scour the world and find people who can help them improve their health. The health that they've lost is so difficult to gain back, even with all of the riches that they have actually accumulated. The fourth form of wealth is money. Ito naman po, hindi na natin yan kailangang i-justify, hindi na natin yan kailangan i-emphasize. Alam naman natin lahat na with money, maraming nagbabago. Ang ating mga experiences nagbabago, ang ating mga gamit nagbabago. But the two most important things would be the freedom of choice and the abundance to share. Alam nyo, yung freedom of choice, malaking bagay yun eh. Kasi sabi ko nga lagi, ang mayaman kumakain din ng tuyot kamatis eh. Pero hindi araw-araw. The fact that a wealthy person can choose to eat what he wants at any place in any given time of day by itself is wealth personified. Number 5 is craft. Your work is wealth. When you're doing what you love, it is wealth. It is wealth that you're actually sharing with others. Alam nyo ba, yung napakagandang blessing is when you're actually earning money from doing something you like doing. A lot of people are not wealthy in this regard. Hirap na hirap sila doing things they don't like doing, but they're just doing it because they have to earn the money. Real wealth is when you're actually loving what you do and improving your craft to the benefit of other people. Alam nyo, ang laking bagay. Pag ang inyong craft ay binibigyan ng importansya ng ibang tao. Pag ang ginagawa mo at ang kagalingan mo binibigyan ng presyo ng iba, at a certain point, it becomes a privilege. It becomes a privilege. It's somehow not work. And that is wealth by itself. Kasi ginagawa mo yung gusto mong gawin eh. At blessing pa, gustong-gusto mo nang gawin, kumikita ka pa. You know, there are many things that I do that other people pay me to do. Pero alam nyo, na-prove ko yan. Minsan, hindi naman talaga ako binabayaran, pero ginagawa ko pa rin dahil enjoy ako. That for me is also part of wealth. The fact that you do what you like to do and it becomes a real privilege because people value it. People around you put importance to what you do and they see the benefit of all that you contribute to them, their businesses, and their endeavors. Number 6 is adventure. Sabi ni Robin Sharma, we're naturally nomadic people. We'd like to travel. We'd like to experience places, taste different cuisines. If we're also in a quest for adventure in our lives, we feel real wealth inside. And sabi niya, as always, hindi naman kailangan mahal yung adventure na yan eh. It becomes an experience of thrill. It can become an experience of learning. It can become anything that's deeply valuable to you. In fact, ang sabi niya doon, sometimes conversation is an adventure. You know, when you get to converse deeply with someone and it becomes really so interesting, tapos hindi mo na napapansin yung oras, that's part of your wealth. That you're able to experience something like that. So we all have to also build up on adventure because it enriches our life. If bland ang buhay mo, puro trabaho ka, gusto mo lang mag-accumulate ng pera, is that what you want? Ang akala ng marami, kikitain ko yung pera ko para makamit ko at ma-experience ko yung adventure na gusto ko. Not true. It's very far from the truth. The real thing is you experience adventure as you go through life. Yes, I will agree, when you have a little more money, adventure can take a different form. But that doesn't mean you have to wait for that time. Today, you can build up the adventure, again, with the conversations you have with people, with the experiences you can share with friends and family. Number 7 is your circle of genius. And with this, I'm not talking about your circle of friends. Your circle of genius is everyone around you. Your family, your spouse, your mentors, your relatives, friends, associations, clubs, all of your communities, all of these would be your circle of genius. And the real wealth is to sift through who has to stay around you and who you need to drop off. Alam nyo, napakabigat na bagay sabihin yan. Pero there will be people in your life who won't get you. There would be people in your life who will be looking at you negatively no matter what you do. Take them out. Eliminate them. Your circle of genius has to inspire you. Your circle of genius has to give you the life you deserve. Tandaan po natin yan. There are times when we're forcing ourselves to be with people who don't give us value, who don't give us meaning. Why stay? Keep your circle of genius to a set of people who can enrich you and make you live a content and meaningful life, where you can continuously grow and become better. So kailangan po yan piliin natin and avoid the toxic people. You should never try to aspire to gain recognition from people who don't give you value. Avoid them. There are people who will always give this to you anyway. Keep those people in your circle of genius, and you will have a great wealth of relationships that you would want to nurture and grow all your life. And lastly, service. At a certain point, I think I was looking at this as legacy. But Robin Sharma was saying na yung legacy kasi nakatuto ka pa rin sa sarili mo. Yung legacy parang ikaw pa rin ang bida. Hindi lang yung service mo to others, it's more of their acknowledgement of the service that you've given. Pero ako naman, in a way, legacy is still very important because there are times when I want to share what I do with others so that they can do the same. Now, when we say we're of service to others, we use our time, talent, and treasure to make a difference in the lives of other people. And I can say this from the customers you have in your business to the people in your community who ask for your help. That's real wealth as well because life is short and your service to other people take you to a level where life becomes of value. And this type of wealth of service isn't actually just the big stuff. Even the small stuff. Alam nyo, before the pandemic, in many of the events I attend, a lot of my friends sometimes comment on this. Rex, paano yan? Hindi ka na nakakain. Paano yan? Late na. Kasi, pagpunta lang sa CR or pagpunta sa kainan, maraming nagpapapicture sa'yo. Kaliwat kanan may nagpapapicture sa'yo. Alam niyo po, maraming speaker, maraming mentor ang ayaw na ganyan. So, umiiwas sila. Lumalakad sila na mabilis para hindi sila abutan. A lot of people get to ask me, why do you stop for everyone? Alam niyo ang sagot ko dyan, simpleng-simple. Dalawang bagay. Ang dami kong ang kaibigan. Siguro, magpapasalamat sila kung may magpa-picture man lang sa kanila eh. Eh ako nga ito, ang daming nagpapapicture. Bakit hindi ko pagbibigyan ang mga may gustong magpapicture? Pangalawa, it takes very little to make someone happy. It takes very little to make someone happy. Para sa kanya, yung nakita niya ako, nakasama niya ako, at nakunan pa ng litrato na alam kong ipapakita niya sa ibang kaibigan or ite-treasure niya sa kanyang telepono, napakaliit na bagay para sa akin. Pero para sa kanya, baka malaking bagay yun. So, bakit ko ipagkakait? Bakit ko ipagkakait sa kanya yung oportunidad? Pero teka lang, di ba oportunidad din sa akin yon para makapagpasaya ng iba? So think about the things, little or major, big or small, that you can do for other people around you. Because that is a real measure of wealth as well. Alam nyo, talagang napakaganda at napakabigat ng mga lessons nitong libro ni Robin Sharma. And I guess, understanding all of these and implementing some of the advice that he has given. In fact, even just the realizations that we can make within ourselves with what we will have as inputs from this great piece will be of value to us moving forward. And I hope that the way I've shared this with you creates an impact on you as well. Gets you to a realization that you can also utilize moving forward. Again, we at Rampver Financials would like to guide people to that pathway of abundance, but it has to be the abundance that matters. And I hope that I'm able to do that for you today. Ito po uli si Rex Mendoza ng Rampver Financials. Maraming salamat po and blessings always. So, this is a major factor. At ito po, ang hatid nito, syempre, higher